What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Want to give you guys this update, but I also want to tell you, get ready for the return of Ego Veli, because I am about to unload the Holy Trinity and the Holy Hell on some of you guys. Now, I don't know who Floyd Mayweather is fighting, possibly Berto, but it's not even about arguing with Berto. I got to expose some things, and it's really the double standard in the sport of boxing. So just be prepared. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, I want to talk about an interview I just watched. Shout out to IFL TV. They conducted the interview with Amir King Khan, and he had some things to say. I don't know if it's 100% true, but going off of what he said, I'm making my response to that video, right? So in the interview, actually didn't even watch the whole thing, to be honest. I'm just keeping it real. Didn't watch the whole thing, but in the interview, there's a point where he's talking to, I think it was Coogan, and he was talking to him about the Kell Brook fight. And I've been on record plenty of times stating my opinion. I think for one reason or another, Amir Khan is avoiding that particular fight. However, I am a fair person, and what Amir Khan said in this interview, he revealed something, and if it is true, then I understand a bit more where Amir Khan is coming from. Keep in mind, I still think that doesn't change anything in the past, because as far as I'm concerned, if what he said is true, this is new findings. This is in recent memory. So it doesn't excuse the avoidance of the Kell Brook fight in the past. Like some people want to say, oh, the Kell Brook fight in Amir Khan can't happen in 2015. I'm like, why? They said, oh, it's a summer fight. They need to open Wembley, blah, blah, blah. But we passed so many summers, and this fight has always been on the table since probably the Sky Sports interview where they were both there together. You know what I'm saying? So that summer shit doesn't work for me because we've passed summer, winter, fall, spring, and all of the seasons, and the fight still hasn't come about, right? So that's one thing. So it doesn't excuse it, but what he's saying right now in this interview, he's saying he heard a rumor, and again, I don't know if it's factual, nothing set in stone, but we know the Kell Brook Brandon Rios fight pretty much broke up. Robert Garcia is on interview saying he doesn't think it's going to happen at all now, right? So that there's no disputing that. That's coming from the Rios camp. And also, in case you guys were wondering, Eddie Hearn and a Twitter fan and Brandon Rios were kind of all talking recently, and the fan was like, "Oh, what's going on with the Rios Kell Brook?" And Eddie Hearn responds to him saying they didn't want it. I don't know. I just heard that they didn't want the fight. So as far as Kell Brook, Brandon Rios, to be honest, I talked to Eddie Hearn when he was out here, and he made it sound like Brandon Rios was pricing himself out. I'm not playing sides because I don't know what was going on with the negotiations. All I know is it doesn't look like that fight is going to happen, and no one's fessing up and no one's taking ownership for it. Kell Brook is saying it's Brandon Rios' side. Brandon Rios was like, you know that wasn't true. We were down to make the fight, but this and that. So I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon, right? Now, what Amir Khan said in this interview is that he heard a rumor, and again, I don't know if it's 100% true, but obviously him being a boxer in the welterweight division, having whatever boxing connects and UK connects that he has, it might be true. And if it is true, then he has a point. And the rumor was that Kell Brook next is going to be fighting Leonard Bundu, right? Or I don't, you know what? I don't even know the other dude's name. It's Vanderhoeven or Van Helsing or some shit. I don't know. You guys got to listen to the interview. He didn't even really sound like he knew the name, and I'm sure it's a UK fighter, and he's from the UK. So Leonard Bundu, let's talk about him. Olympic pedigree, but he recently got beat in December by Keith Thurman, right? In a shutout performance. It wasn't the greatest Keith Thurman, like he didn't get a knockout, but it was very dominant. I didn't give Leonard Bundu one round, and he got knocked down in the first round, right? So if Amir Khan is accurate and this actually does happen, I don't want to hear shit about Floyd Mayweather fighting Berto or anybody else, because as far as I'm concerned, if this does happen, everybody's playing it safe at the welterweight division. Everybody. So if anybody's going to get a pass, let it be the person who has 19 years of history beating champion after champion and just beat Pacquiao. But all these other welterweights, it's crazy, man. They're taking the softest touch. Kell Brook, he beat Sean Porter, and he's descended in terms of resume. It's the Porter was the peak, and you became a champion. When you become a champion, I feel like you should work harder because now people are at your throat and people want what you have. They want that chance at that hardware that you're holding. They want that status that you have. And to me, Kell Brook, his schedule has gotten way easier. Even before leading up to Sean Porter, I think Kell Brook had a tougher schedule. Carson Jones gave him some tough fights in the first fight, and then he had a second fight, so he had to redeem himself. He had the fight with, what's his name, Sinchenko, and then Sean Porter. And then now you're fighting Jojo Dan. I gave him a pass. I said, okay, he's coming off of a brutal stabbing, and he needs to make sure things work, and he has the same mobility and stuff. And that was his mandatory. Cool. But there was no reason. I even asked Eddie Hearn this. Check out the interview on my channel. I asked him, why did they even make a Frankie Gavin fight? Frankie Gavin is not top 5 welterweight, even close. You know what I'm saying? So that was inexcusable. That fight didn't even really need to happen. Then the Brandon Rios fight breaks up for whatever reason. I don't know. And if he fights Leonard Bundu next, man, like, this is crazy. Like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about if Mayweather fights Berto, because again, every welterweight that I'm hearing people say Mayweather needs to fight, these other dudes ain't fighting. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman, he didn't fight Kell Brook. Kell Brook didn't fight Amir Khan. Amir Khan didn't fight Keith Thurman or Brook. Everybody's taking soft touch. Again, I don't know if this is true, but I would be very thoroughly disappointed if Leonard Bundu is next for Kell Brook, because why beat a guy who was just dominated and knocked down in December when your last fight wasn't a fight that needed to happen? And the fight before that, like, truth be told, the Jojo Dan, again, I gave him a pass because the injury and it was a mandatory, but truth be told, he had more time. He didn't have to immediately fight. Usually you can get an extension to take care of your mandatory. You don't have to. Robert Guerrero was Mayweather's mandatory for quite some time before they actually fought. You know what I'm saying? So all the sanctioning bodies are the same. But to me, it just sounds like all the welterweights are taking the path of least resistance, hoping to get that Mayweather shot. So what's the point? Don't rag on Mayweather, who's proven more. At least he fought Canelo, Pacquiao, Maidana in recent memory. That's his like schedule. Cotto, Guerrero, Maidana twice, and then Pacquiao, which is a tougher schedule than Porter, Jojo Dan, and the Frankie Gavin. You know what I'm saying? So it just seems like it's getting sickening. Like, obviously, a Mayweather fight can change your lifestyle. We've seen that with Maidana. That's why he's living comfortably, gained a lot of weight. He's chilling right now because he's comfortable. But, I mean, everybody is avoiding everybody at welterweight, taking the path of least resistance. Keith Thurman just fought Luis Collazo, who Amir Khan just beat and dominated. And then Keith Thurman struggled a bit in the 5th round. You know what I mean? More so than other people who have fought him. Like, other big names, aside from Victor Ortiz, weren't that badly hurt when they fought Luis Collazo. So that was his fight, right? And then before that was Bundu or whoever Keith Thurman fought before that. Then Amir Khan, same thing. Amir Khan fought Luis Collazo. First fight at welterweight, I'm like, okay. Then he fought Devin Alexander. Then he took a backtrack by fighting a guy who had never fought at welterweight, coming off a bad loss to Pacquiao with 6 knockdowns. And then he struggled with him. So, man, I'm just getting sick of hearing all this stuff. People want to nitpick what's going on throughout the division, not just with Mayweather. But if Kell Brook is fighting Leonard Bundu next, it's ridiculous. And to me, these dudes, they want to keep it safe. You know what I mean? They want the title shot, but they're not willing to walk through the fire to get it. Fighting guys like Chris Algier, all of them. You know what I'm saying? All the welterweights that I'm hearing people talk about need to fight. They're all taking soft touch baby steps. You know what I mean? Fighting Luis Collazo, who recently was beat by Amir Khan, and then not even looking as spectacular as Khan did versus Collazo. Does that really warrant the Mayweather fight? I understand the mandatory, but you didn't look that great. And that was the showcase before, right? Then you look at Amir Khan struggling with Chris Algieri. Then you look at Kell Brook, Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, and then possibly Leonard Bundu. Are you kidding me? Let me know what you guys think, man. If Kell Brook fights it, like I said, I'd rather see a Sean Porter rematch. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not do that? Why not? It's not even just about Mayweather or Khan. I really want to see the Kell Brook and Khan fight, but for whatever reason, they can't agree to terms. Why would Kell Brook not fight Brandon Rios, but fight Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, and then Leonard Bundu? Like, come on, man. So I hope what Khan's saying is just a rumor and is not true, but he does have a point if it is in fact true. If Kell Brook fights Leonard Bundu next, he has a point. Everybody, he's saying, why am I taking all this wear and tear on my body, and I have a better resume, and he just wants the Khan shot. So the game is crazy, especially at the welterweight division. But I don't want to hear nothing about if Berto is selected, because everybody seems to be taking a soft touch. And at the very least, we can say Mayweather has had the toughest schedule out of all them dudes. You know what I mean? All of his recent fights have been welterweight, and they've been guys like Pacquiao, Canelo at a catchweight, Maidana twice. You know what I mean? When was the last time Amir Khan fought a guy like Maidana, who has the lethal power to hurt you and is bigger at welterweight and improved with Robert Garcia? When's the last time Kell Brook fought a guy like Pacquiao, a speedster who was named fighter of the decade? When's the last time Keith Thurman fought a guy like that you would rate up there with the Pacquiaos, the Cottos, or Canelo? Who's the last guy that had the momentum Canelo had that Keith Thurman fought? So to me, it just seems like everybody is skirting around the real issue, hoping to land that big shot. And again, Khan has a point if Leonard Bundu is selected for Kell Brook. I don't even see why they would even try to make that fight at this point. What has Leonard Bundu done since the Keith Thurman loss? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this rumor according to Khan. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.